Okay, so to enter a group service, you want to click the services heading from the top navigation menu, and then group services is the very first option. You can go ahead and click on that. And I don't see any group services here over the last 3 months, which is again the default display. So I'm going to change my search criteria. I'll say, let's see, the last 12 months, see if we have any groups. Okay, so over the last 12 months, it looks like we do have some groups. And from here, I can view or edit any of these groups by clicking the edit button. I'm going to add a new group service first. So I'm going to click this add new group service button. And I select the group service that occurred. There are only 2 selections, family and group. I'm going to select family. Number of sessions. 99% of the time, this is going to be 1. Maybe there are occurrences where you had 2 sessions on the same day. That's an instance where you may have a number higher than 1 here. But for the most part, it's going to be 1. So I'm going to enter a 1 in here. The number of people that were in your group, I'm going to say there were only 2 people in my group for this example. I'll say the group was 90 minutes long or 1.5 hours. We enter these in hours too. And this is the clock hours. And then the date that this group occurred. I'm going to say it's happening today. So now I have finished entering the general information about the group, what date it happened, what type it was, how long it was, and the number of people that were in my group. So now I have to bring in the client IDs that participated in my group. Or actually, I'm sorry, I'm skipping a step. I'm first going to add the staff that conducted this service. So I'll just pick my staff from the staff volunteer drop-down menu. Conduct hours. This is often going to be the same as the hours in session, but there may be instances where they're a little different. I'll explain why in a moment. For now, I'm just going to put 1.5 hours. If there are any preparation or travel hours that were needed to provide this group, you could enter that as well. And so now I've entered my staff. Now I'm going to bring in my clients. And there are 2 ways you can do this. First, you can click this add new attendee and just type in your client. As you type, your selection will narrow. I'm going to bring in my victim client I entered this morning. You want to always select case ID number 1. You do want to fill that in, even though your clients all will only have 1 case. And then the received hours will automatically enter for you. It will match whatever you have entered here. So I said this was a 1.5 hour group. So it puts 1.5 hours in there automatically. If I needed to adjust that, maybe this person had to leave 15 minutes early. In that case, I would just edit it slightly so that it's 1.25. The other way I can add a client is this button, adding the clients by search, which means I pick from an existing list of clients, not having to type it in myself. So by default, when I click the search button, it's going to give me a list of every client ID that has had any type of group service in the last 3 months. Now, in this training site, there are no clients that meet that criteria. And I don't know, the client I want to bring into this group is the significant other client I entered earlier today. And I know that person doesn't have any services. So I'm going to remove the group service date search criteria completely. And I'm instead going to search by first contact date. I do know that that person's first contact date was in January. So I'm just going to use the range this calendar year. You could also search by full or partial client IDs or client type, victim, or significant other. I'm going to put the significant other filter on here to narrow my search. And when I click search, it looks like the client I entered this morning is the only record that meets my criteria. And I just click this plus button here and it adds them to my family counseling group. And again, it automatically input 1.5 hours. So I'm going to save my group and I have finished entering my group service. So I'm going to do one more example under slightly different circumstances. I saved my group, and if I click this drop down arrow here, there's also an option that says save and add new. And you'll see this option not just here in group services, but also in community services, events, I believe, as well as prevention services. I'm going to save and add new. And then it opens up a new blank screen ready to take in another record. So with this example, I'll use group counseling. Let's say I did two group counseling sessions in the same day, and they were each 1 hour long. Okay, so I'm going to say they were 2 sessions. If I am putting multiple groups in one record, I want to make sure whatever I enter here is the cumulative total of both those sessions. So if each group was 1 hour, I want to make sure I enter a 2 here because I'm counting the time for both groups. The number of attendees is going to be 5, and I'll make it for today's date. And this is why entering a number of sessions higher than 1 is relatively rare. I don't know how often it is. I'm going to provide 2 group sessions to the same 5 clients twice in a day. So it's probably rare, but if you do enter it this way, you would enter the cumulative total. So these 5 clients attended both my groups. And I'm going to enter staff, conduct hours. I'm going to say 2. We'll leave the prepare and travel hours blank for now. Now, group counseling or group services, sometimes they're provided by more than one staff at the same time. So if you want to add another staff person as a co-facilitator, just click this add new staff and another row will open up for you. So I'm going to enter myself. And let's say I only co-facilitated in one of the groups. My conduct hours are going to be a little different. I'm only going to enter 1 for my conduct hours because Cheryl, my co-facilitator, she was co-facilitating during both groups. Maybe for the first group, I was just observing. So I was there, but I didn't do any actual service provision. And I'm going to leave the prepare and travel hours blank, but that is an option. And now I can add my attendees. I'm just going to pick any clients. Okay, so I've added some clients and now I'm going to click save. And it's stopping me, it's warning me the number of attendees specified in the field is not equal to the number of attendees added to my group. So I can still click yes and save my group service, but Infonet is pointing out to me there's a conflict here or a mismatch. I entered that there were 5 people in this group, but I only entered 4 clients. So it's warning me that there's a mismatch there. And to correct it, I just want to add another attendee, which I'll go ahead and do now. And I can save it. And now when I save, I'm not going to get that same error message. Okay, so that is 2 group service records I've entered. Now I'm going to go back to group service search. And it's displaying all the services within the last year, like I had asked it to before adding those records. And to edit any of these records, here's a group therapy. Number of attendees is 0. I don't know why that would be the case, so I'm going to change that to 5. This is also missing a staff person and a service. We also use the training site to test bugs, so I wonder if that's why sometimes when you test for bugs, you intentionally try to enter bad data into the system to see how well it takes. Hours in session 1. And then we'll add some attendees. We'll just say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now I've saved and edited my group record. And I can also, from the search page, I can, if I want to delete a record, I'm going to delete one of these strange looking records here. I just click edit, and then there's a delete button down here. So I can click the delete button. It's warning me this is going to permanently delete the record. Yes, that's what I want to do. And that record is now gone. And then searching for group services, again, the default is the last 3 months. You can change that search criteria here, or you can just enter, I can go back 10 years if I'd like. And then it's going to bring up all the groups that have been provided since 2010.